Despite the unjust and despicable decision to reject my candidacy in the presidential election scheduled for next October, many Cameroonians continue to believe that I can still play a key role in the outcome of this election. I thank them for their renewed esteem and unwavering confidence. I have listened to their repeated calls and have resolved to see how best I can respond, as I always do when the higher interests and future of our country are at stake. It is in this spirit that on 16 September, I launched an appeal to opposition candidates running in the election in question. I urged them to unite, ideally behind one of their number, or, failing that, to form a coalition of several strong candidates around one of those among them who has extensive political and state management experience, in this case, one of the two candidates from the northern part of the country, on the basis of a prior agreement between them. In my view, such an approach was likely to trigger a national popular movement. It would have allowed for the pooling of efforts and avoided the dispersion of votes, making the victory of the candidate supported by the entire people of change, in other words, the entire Cameroonian people, inevitable. Since this appeal, I have met and exchanged views with 7 of the 11 opposition candidates, including the most important ones, as well as a number of prominent figures from civil society. I have spared no effort to encourage an agreement between the UNDP and FSNC candidates in order to make possible a coalition, even of a limited one, of opposition candidates around them. In my view, this approach offered a real chance of victory that would respond to the deep desire for change that is rising throughout the country. The late entry into the race for the presidency of the two candidates from the northern part of the country, whom public opinion seems to consider the major candidates in the upcoming election, did not give them the time to make the multifaceted preparations necessary for either of them to hope to create a winning dynamic on their own. Today, Friday, 26 September 2025, in the eve of the opening of the official electoral campaigns period, during which a coalition candidate should be presented to voters and to all the Cameroonian people across the country, his vision should be explained and his image should be fixed in the minds of voters, especially in rural areas. However, to the great disappointment of Cameroonians, no such candidate has been found. The following observations can therefore be made. 1. The absence of even a limited coalition of candidates, with the two candidates from the northern part of the country capable of pooling resources and creating a powerful popular dynamic likely to ensuring victory for the people in the upcoming presidential election. 2. The existence of deep divisions within the population, particularly among supporters of the UNDP and FSNC candidates, because of the failure to agree on a single candidate between the two. 3. The prospect of a scattering of votes that could seriously compromise the chances of victory for an opposition candidate. As a result of all the above, we, Maurice Kamto, and the Political Alliance for Change, PAC, which supported my candidacy, have come to the conclusion that it is appropriate to leave each voter fully responsible for voting freely in good conscience for the opposition candidate of their choice in the presidential election scheduled for 12 October 2025. Long live Cameroon.